it's good news. It's big news. And this is apparently going to potentially happen. Again, this is rumored, and I'm stressing it's rumored, not confirmed. Potentially going to happen after the Vegas shindig that's going to happen this Saturday, 2 days from now, with the Saitama group when they launch SAITAMA Mask. Now, one thing that we're going to want to pay attention to, let's say that, because I've called out that the KEANU, if you've heard my older podcast, I called out that KEANU, its earliest flub was doing something very identically similar to what we're about to do here with Saitama, which was they had a big shindig scheduled, they had celebrities on deck, and then due to no fault of the developer, but just things happened, they backed out of it. And so then in that situation, they asked for donations. Saitama also had a donation run, but it was for purchasing. So it wasn't exactly the same, but there were similar patterns in behavior, or as Tim Bradley says, patterns. And so that's the only thing that makes me nervous is the fact that we're doing the almost exact same thing, because KEANU is also going to release its Matrix wallet, similar to what SAITAMA Mask is supposed to do. And then just because of scheduling conflicts or things happening, there's a lot of uncertainty with COVID, especially out here in Vegas. It's an uncertain time. And so that makes people nervous when you say something's booked out to the future. And we hope everything goes smashingly well. I'm not trying to jinx them. I'm saying I'm watching it kind of at a distance, even though I'm physically local. I won't be able to attend the event, but I will still watch it, and hopefully everything goes smooth as butter. The other thing with this Coinbase listing potentially happening is that it will be one of two of the major exchanges that are rumored to be listing Saitama. The other one, of course, being Binance. And when I say Binance, it will probably be both sides, both .com and Binance.us. I would say that the Binance listing is probably more significant in terms of international availability and exposure, although Gate.io is there. Many people may not realize that it's there or may not use it for whatever reason, or in the other exchanges, but Binance is the more well-known name, especially when you talk about India. And India is where a lot of the money is, let's be honest. So I think when you talk United States, it's going to be Coinbase. When you talk international, it's going to be Binance. And those two alone are going to be significant enough in impact to keep us on track from my estimate, which was that basically dropping at least a zero, if not two, by Q1 of next year easily. I don't see a reason why that couldn't happen unless, again, something doesn't go right with the Vegas event. It's possible. Or let's say that the SAITAMA comes out and it's a buggy nonsense mess, which as somebody who works technology, I've been there, so I know how that works. And usually that's a symptom of just certain software is built and it works fine when you're in QA, but then when you go to capacity, you got more people using it, all of a sudden it doesn't scale, like there's performance issues and that kind of stuff that they wouldn't have been able to flesh out. They did a beta, but the beta was limited, so you don't have a good sense of capacity management. So then let's say things like storage, things like database, IO, are you able to keep up with the varying traffic points? I'm assuming that they wrote it in more stateless technologies, like REST or, file-based databases and or NoSQL, for example, where it doesn't have significant impacts, but you still have data overhead from a connectivity perspective, your authentication layer, and so on. So I'm from a technology perspective, I am curious to see if they were able to avoid any sort of those potential performance issues with the actual wallet that they release. I've seen the beta of the wallet and I've seen the walkthroughs and the talkthroughs, and it seems like it's pretty solid and stable and well thought out. So I'm not concerned about the wallet itself. These are things that naturally happen in technology development. So I'm not calling out anything specific to crypto. I'm saying that when you do these kinds of major builds, and this is trying to do something that's unprecedented in certain ways to try to minimize gas fees and try to centralize the exchangeability. It's basically like an exchange that's a market, from what I can tell, a market level exchange in a wallet. Well, that's nobody's ever done that before. The closest is Zerion, and Zerion isn't, to me, isn't in anybody's class. So I'm curious to see the end product. I really am, and I'm gunning for them. I'm cheering for them, not only because of the investment, but because, like I said in previous, they seem to strike me as understanding the business of running this. They're a LLC, so they're fully formed. They're fully, quote, doxed in that form, and they seem to be doing a better job of the communication and the outreaches and keeping people informed. Obviously, they can't release everything, but the amount of information they have released is significantly better than what was in the past that I've called out. So I'm definitely cheering for them. I'm not trying to jinx them. I'm not saying that they're going to fail. Absolutely not. I'm saying that these are things that I've observed that were things that went south.